Hello everyone, welcome back to the classes. So today we're going to start a new chapter, which is chapter number 11, and we'll study about strings. So let us start studying about the topic strings. So now we'll study about string functions. Before studying about the string functions, let us understand what is string. String is nothing but it is a constant. You studied in class 9. The string is a constant and it is not a primitive constant. It is something different. It is a class type constant. The string S is capital and string constant are to be stored in double quotes. This is what you studied in class 9. In class 10, you will be going a step further and you will be learning about the functions of string or the string functions that can be used. So why are this string function for? It's to do or manipulate string constants or play with string constant, you can say. We can create a new string out of an already existing string using the string functions. We'll create patterns and many more, which we'll be doing in our programs after completing the theory part. So now we'll understand how to store a string constant. So you already know there are two types of input. One is when you know the value and another is when you don't know the value. If you know the value, you will be using input using initialization or using the assignment operator. If you don't know the value, you have to ask the user through parameter or through scanner or through buffer reader. Right? So you know how to store string constant using equal to sign, that is variable equal to the string constant. You know how to take parameter input. You know how to write the scanner syntax, that is next or next line, and buffer reader, that is read or read line. You already know how to store string constant. Now I will let you know how to store string constant by creating an object. So you know this one to store directly. You know how to take string constant using parameter. You know the scanner, that is using next or next line. Next is for a single word, next line is for multiple words. And buffer reader, you have read and read line. Clear? So you already know these things. The new thing is this one, that is to create an object and then store a string. So the syntax is string variable name. New keyword is used to create the object and then string, and within bracket you have to write the value. Example, string variable name is x, new you have to write to create an object, then string, then within brackets you have to store the string constant. But majority of the times we'll be using this for only. Remember this only for theory. We'll be using either to store string directly or through parameter. If you are not using parameter, you are using scanner, then you have to use next or next line. If you are using buffer reader, you have to use read or read line. But this you have to remember for theory. So here the characters are stored in computer memory starting from location 0. Okay, so you have to remember this thing. In string, for example, you are storing string x equal to ABC. So when it is stored in the system, a location is given for each character. That is the location of A is 0, B is 1 and C is 2. Every time the location starts from 0 and it continues by increasing 1. Okay, for example, I am storing Dibya class. So this location is 0, I is 1, B is 2, Y is 3 and so on. This is how a string constant is stored in a computer memory. So each character has their own location. The first character is 0, the second character is 1, the third character is 2 and similarly. So if there is n number of characters, then what will be the location? It will be n minus 1. For example, n is 6. Then what is the location of the character? That is 5. n6 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one. Space. What is the location of space? It is 5. So always the location of nth character is n minus 1. Okay, you have to remember like this. Because this location will be used to solve string programs or to solve string outputs or to find errors and many more things related to strings. So let us start studying about the string functions we have in our Java syllabus. First one is to lowercase. So this string function converts all the uppercase alphabets or letters present in a string to lowercase alphabets or letters. And the syntax is string variable name equal to variable dot to lowercase, where A1 stores the original string and A2 will store the string after converting it to lowercase. Okay, A1 is the original string. For example, A1 is ABC. What will A2 store? It will convert this ABC into lowercase, that is ABC, and store it in A2. Here we have an example. So here in the string S, computer was stored, which contains a mixture of capital and small letters. In which variable? In S. So whatever variable you want to convert, you have to write variable dot. Okay, this should be same. If you write P here, P doesn't have anything now. S, the value you want to convert to lowercase, that is present in S. So S dot to lowercase. What will to lowercase do? It will convert everything to lowercase. And what happens to the characters already present in lowercase? It will remain in lowercase. So the final output will be computer. So in the variable P, computer will be stored where all the alphabets are in lowercase. And you have to remember the syntax. Okay, this syntax. This is what written here. The same thing. So here you can see TO is small, lower L is capital and case C is capital. So this way of writing is known as camel case writing. So camel case means if there is a sentence and for example there are 5 words. The first word everything will be small and from second, third, fourth, fifth, all this word, the first letter will be capital. The first letter number 1 will be capital. So here it has 3 words, to, lower and case. First will always be small letters. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, infinite. The first letter will be capital. And this type of sentences are known as camel case sentences. And there will be no space between two lowercase. This is how the functions are written in Java. You will see that many of the functions in Java will follow the camel case. Similar to lowercase, which will convert capital to small letters, we have to uppercase. That is, it will convert the small letters to capital letters. And again, it is written in the same way, that is camel case. This function converts the lowercase alphabets or letters to uppercase alphabets or letter. The syntax is same. A1 contains the original string. A2 will contain the string after getting converted to uppercase. For example, here S contains computer, mixture of both capital letters and small letters. We converted whatever is present in S to uppercase. So what will happen? In P, computer will be stored with all the alphabets in capital letters. Understood? Two lowercase and two uppercase are opposite of each other. Clear? Then two lowercase and uppercase will be used in programs heavily. So you have to remember this syntax. We'll be doing program using two uppercase and lowercase in future classes. So next function we have is replace. I think you understand what is the meaning of replace. Replace means there is one thing present. You want to replace it, means change it with another thing, you can say. So here replace will be used. For example, you have A and you want to replace with O. Means A will get deleted and instead of that O will be present. So this is called replace. So this function replaces all the occurrence of a character with a new character present in the given string. And the syntax is string variable equal to variable dot replace xy. What are xy? X is the alphabet you want to replace with y. For example, x is I and y is O. So whatever I is present in a sentence or in a paragraph, it will be replaced by O. For example, you have a string Divyanandan Mishra, this is my name, and you want to replace all the I with O. So how many I are there? There is one I in Divya and one I in Mishra. So the new sentence will be Divya Nandan Mishra. What does that mean? I replaced I with O. So for example, if I write A with O, then the answer will be DIBYO NONDON MISHRO. So all the A's will be replaced with O. So if you want to replace a particular character with another character, remember here we are talking about character, not a word, only a single character, that is a letter, with another letter, or a digit with another digit, or a special character with another special character. It doesn't mean that we can replace only alphabets. For example, you have DIBYA and you want to replace I with multiplication sign. This is our Java multiplication sign. Then it will become D asterisk BYA. So you can replace any character with any other character. It doesn't has to be alphabets or it has to be digits. It can be any character of Java. It can be, you can replace any character of Java with any other character. It can be arithmetic symbols, plus, minus, it can be alphabets, it can be digits, it can be special character like hash, @ okay. But you can replace one character with another character. So we will also be doing programs using replace functions. Next is trim. What does trim do? The trim is used to remove spaces present at the beginning and end of a string. So whatever spaces are present between the beginning and end of a string, those will be deleted. And this is the syntax, that is string variable name equal to variable dot trim. For example, in S, you have space space desktop, space and space laptop and space space. So when you do trim, what will happen? It will delete these spaces that is present before desktop and after laptop. It will not delete spaces between desktop and laptop. These spaces. There are spaces here. It will not delete this. It will only delete spaces in the beginning and end of a string. So after trimming this, the new string will be desktop and laptop without any spaces. These spaces will get deleted. So when you print S plus ABC, it will print space. Why? Because S is the original string. P contains the trimmed string. The new string is present in P. So it will print space, then desktop and laptop space and ABC. But when you print the trimmed version that is present in P, see, there is no spaces here and there is no spaces here. These spaces are deleted and therefore ABC is joined. So this is how trim works. Though trim will not be used in program, but it may come in your theory. Next we have is equals. So if you remember, we have discussed in previous classes, in class 9 and class 10, that we cannot check if two strings are equal or not by using the equal to sign. That is this one, double equal to. You have been using this operator to check if two values are equal. For example, 5 equal to 5, or A equal to C. So you're checking if these two values are equal or not. So either the answer will be true if they are equal, or else the answer will be false if they are not equal. We can check for numbers, integer real numbers. We can also check for characters. We can also check for boolean. But we cannot check string. We cannot check two string by using this equal to sign. So for that, we have another function for string, that is equals function. The work of equals function is to check if two strings are equal or not. Okay, never use this one. This is wrong. You cannot use double equal to sign to check if two strings are equal or not. You have to use this function, that is equals, and the syntax is boolean. Why boolean? Because the result will be true or false. Okay, you're checking if it is equal. Either it will be equal or else it will not be equal. So you are checking if those are equal. If it is equal, then true will be stored. If it is not equal, then false will be stored. A1 is the first string, A2 is the second string. String 1 and string 2. A1 contains string number 1, A2 contains string number 2. So you are checking if two strings, that is a string present in A1 and a string present in A2 are equal or not. If it is equal, it is true. If it is not equal, it is false. For example, in the variable S we have desktop, and variable R we also have desktop. Both are desktop, but there is a difference. The first letter is capital, then everything is small letters. Here everything is in capital letters. So for Java, small letters and capital letters are different. So they are not equal. So therefore, if you check if the string present in S is equal to R, then it is false. Therefore the output will be false, because though they are same, for us it is different for Java, because first one is in small letters and second one is in capital letters. In Java, always remember small letters and capital letters are different. So because of this, there is another string function, that is equals ignore case. And always remember, when there is more than one word, you will use the camel case. First word all small, then second, third, and so on. It may be 5, it may be 6, it may be 1000 of words. The first letter will be capital. So equal ignore case is created to check if two strings are equal. Ignoring the case means, for example, in this area, here D is capital, rest all are small, and here everything is capital. For Java, both are different. But you want to ignore that. You want to tell Java that it is fine if the letters are capital or small, but if the words are same, it is same. So here, if you use equals ignore case, it will not give false, but this time it will give true, because while using equal ignore case, Java makes small letters equal to capital letters. If you use equal ignore case for Java, small letters will be same as capital letters. So it will check, is desktop equal to desktop? Yes, both are same word. If you ignore the case, therefore the answer is true. So if you use equals, the answer will be false, because for Java, small letters are different from capital letters. If you use equals ignore case, then Java will think that both capital letters and small letters are same, or it will ignore the case. It will not check the case, and it will check if the words are same, or the sentences are same, or the paragraphs are same. It doesn't mean that you will only take words to check if they are equal or not. You can text sentences, paragraph, any big strings. Okay, it doesn't matter, because you can check a big string with another big string. There is no limit. So now you understand what is equals and equals ignore case. So according to the program, either you have to use equals or you have to use equals ignore case. And next we'll study about length, and this is very important function, because 99% of the program you are going to use this function, and it is also the easiest function. What does length function do? It will count the number of characters present in a string. It will count the number of characters present in a string, and the syntax is variable.length, where this variable is the string variable. Whatever string you have inputted, you want to find the length of it. So length means it will be a number. Like there are 5 characters, there are 100 characters, there are 1000 characters. Therefore, you have taken the data type as int. For example, we want to find the length of the string. So Java will count. J is 1, A is 2, V is 3, A is 4, space is 5, space is also character, I is 6, S 7, space 8, B 9, E 10, T 11, again T 12, E 13, R 14, space 15, then T 16, H 17, A 18, N 19, then again space, that is 20, then C 21, plus 22, again plus 23. So in this sentence there are total 23 characters, and space is also characters, you have to count. So the output is 23. So you will just count how many characters are present in a given string. And also remember the position. The position and length is different. Length is number of characters. Position is what is the position of a particular character. For example, I will ask what is the position of the letter capital J, that is this one. Then you will say it is 0, because we have already seen that the location or the position of a string starts from 0 till end. So J is 0, A is 1, V is 2, again A is 3, so it will start from 0. So what is the position of the last character, that is plus? Is the last character plus? Its position is 22, that is nothing but total length minus 1, because the length will count from 1 but the position gets counted from 0. Understood? Clear? So there are many more string functions which will continue in our next class. See this video multiple times to understand, and we will be doing some output programs and some new string function in the next video. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.